Hello and welcome, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Lunch with
Hello and
Lisa.
welcome.
I am Lisa Warner, and I am the author of The Simplicity of Self-Healing, because healing our bodies is actually really simple. It is built right into the design of our bodies. Our bodies are designed to do it automatically, but we have to know how. As humans, we have forgotten that all of these bells and whistles are built right into our bodies. Today, I want to talk about why your beliefs about your body matter. So, you've probably all become familiar with the phrase thoughts become things. So, or that our thoughts create our reality. And this is really true, especially when it comes to our bodies. Every cell in your body is listening to every thought you think. And every thought you think is having an impact on every cell in your body. And when we have all kinds of negative thoughts about our bodies, hey, Brenda, thanks for joining. Nice to see you today. When we have negative thoughts about our bodies, when we're afraid of the symptoms that are showing up, when we don't like the way our bodies look, when we feel uncomfortable, when we have pain, when there is a disconcerting issue arising in our tissues, what we think about these things matters. Because when we're afraid of our bodies, when we don't like our bodies, when we're uncomfortable in our own bodies, our bodies are not going to be in alignment. They're not going to exhibit radiant health. Hey, Dad, made it. Sweet. Hey, Michelle. Thanks for hopping on, everyone. If anybody has any questions or comments as we go along here, please pop them into the chat on Facebook in our Soul Source Healing group, where I am right now. And if you're watching on YouTube, drop a comment later on and let me know. Subscribe to the channel. So to get back to what I was talking about, every single thought we think in our bodies. So our bodies respond to every single thought we think. Now, when we think thoughts that are out of alignment with who we are as a being, who we are as the soul, when our mind goes wandering off into left field, into the land of fear and doubt and worry and guilt and shame and blame and all of those distractions that pull our mind aside and separate the mind from the truth of the soul, our bodies respond to those thoughts. Our bodies have to counteract those thoughts. So when our bodies start to counteract those thoughts, and then they show up with symptoms, coughing, sneezing, wheezing, fevers, vomiting, diarrhea, lumps, bumps, whatever shows up in our body, it doesn't show up there just out of the blue. It has shown up there in response to thoughts that we've been thinking and emotions that we've been feeling. So when we look at our bodies and we don't like our bodies, hey, Kinsey, when we're afraid of the symptoms that show up in our bodies, There's a lot of emotion that's attached to that. Fear is a very strong emotion. Guilt, shame, worry, blame are all very strong emotions. And those emotions are felt in our cells, and our cells react and respond to those emotions. So when we don't feel good about ourselves or our lives, we don't feel good about those things in our bodies. So our cells are responding to every thought we think. And when we believe that the things that show up in our bodies, lumps, bumps, fevers, coughing, congestion, when we believe that those things are bad, that those things are sicknesses and diseases that are attacking our bodies, then that's what appears as our reality. In truth, those things are simply showing up in our bodies because we've been thinking in certain ways prior to those things showing up in our bodies. We have to start looking at what's actually happening to our bodies. Because when we are thinking thoughts that have a strong emotion attached to them, let's say a strong negative emotion attached to them, when we are thinking fear-based thoughts, fear is a strong emotion. So when we feel that emotion in ourselves and in our cells, that emotion puts energy into motion, which then appears as our reality. When I found myself facing cancer, I was afraid. I was living in anxiety and fear, worried about what was going to happen. And that fear, those heavy, strong emotions turned my reality into a living nightmare. Hey, Shannon. When I was living in my nightmare, my body, I could not heal. Health and living in the nightmare are two completely different things. Like, you cannot have both at the same time. You can't be living in a nightmare and be radiantly healthy at the same time. They do not coexist. So if you want to be radiantly healthy, you have to look at what are the thought patterns that are generating the nightmare? What are the thought patterns that are generating what's going on in your body? Thoughts become things, and they become things in our bodies. So every single thing that is showing up in your body has a thought pattern attached to it. And this is scientifically verified through something called German New Medicine. German New Medicine is brilliant because it shows us, it proves that thoughts become things, because every single thing that's going on in your body has a specific emotional thought pattern that goes with it, that's at the core. So whatever is going on in your physical body right now, your body is not the problem. It's the thought patterns, the beliefs about what's happening to your body that are the problem. I can't reiterate this enough, is that thoughts become things. They're called thought patterns because our thought patterns take energy and they structure energy in certain patterns that then shows up as our life. everything is consciousness. We live in this most beautiful, gorgeous planet. The mountains, the lakes, the streams, the trees, the valleys, the oceans. It is gorgeous. Look at the beauty of this planet, the rainbows, the flowers, the birds, the animals. There's so much beauty here. But how many of us are living in a nightmare? It has nothing to do with the beauty of this planet. The nightmare is generated from our thought patterns, from the way we think and the emotions that we feel. When we change the way we think, when we stop thinking in terms of fear and doubt and worry and frustration, the physical stuff shows up differently. Hey, Susan, nice to see you here. What do you say? Susan, agreed. Change from being in the nightmare to move into radiant health by your thoughts, beliefs, and feeling a victim of what the body is doing. What if your body was simply waiting for instructions from us? Beautiful. And it acts on all of our negative thoughts. Absolutely, Susan, you have got it. You hit that nail right on the head. Your body is literally taking instructions from us, from you every day. Your body is listening to you. So it is, just like Susan is saying, taking instruction from you. So if you are waiting for your body to heal, you have to instruct it to heal. You have to give it the thought patterns that will allow it to heal. Self-healing in a nutshell. Your body is not the problem. Whatever is going on in your physical body is being generated by a belief about your body, or a belief about yourself, or a belief about how you and your body fit into this world or don't fit into this world, how the world is showing up for you and your body. So it's literally the thought patterns that we have to deconstruct. We have to look and see what is causing us fear, doubt, worry, shame, blame, guilt, right? And if we think that it's our body that's causing all of that, we have to think again, because it's not. The thoughts are generating the physical circumstances, whether they're the circumstances of your body, the circumstances of your money, the circumstances of your life, your circumstances of your relationships. It is all down to your thoughts and your emotions. How you combine your thoughts and your emotions. Thoughts are electrical, emotions are magnetic. We live in an electromagnetic atmosphere, and the molecules arrange themselves electromagnetically. So your entire reality is electromagnetic, and it is responding to your thoughts and your feelings. So when you start to think thoughts consciously, what types of thoughts would you like to be thinking? How would you like to be feeling? When you're conscious of that and you start to consciously direct your thoughts and your feelings, your entire life can change on a dime. And you know what? If enough people stopped thinking thoughts and feeling fear about those thoughts that are generating the collective fear-based reality, we could change the collective fear-based reality literally overnight. Because the collective fear-based reality is an illusion. All of these things are illusions. They're all illusionary. They can change at the drop of a hat. We can all change things at the drop of a hat. But we have to be willing to change our thought patterns. We have to be willing to look from a slightly different angle. Instead of looking at what we've always been looking at that we don't like, we have to look where the thing is that we want to see. Right now, the collective vision is being guided to look at something that none of us like. What if we all simply turned our vision to look where the things that we want are? Because if we're looking at what we don't want, then we're looking away from the things that we do want. So we have to change our direction that we're looking. Susan says, I'm still learning to change all those stories I used to tell about my body, my health into a better ending. Way to go. Absolutely. And we're all in a learning process. All of humanity, every single one of us is still, we're always growing, we're always changing. There is never an end to our learning process. That's the nature of consciousness itself. The entire universe is always growing, expanding, and changing. There is never an end point to what we can learn. So, are you ready to take your health into your own very capable hands? Are you ready to learn how to harness your thoughts and your emotions in a simple, beautiful way so that you can heal your body and live the life you truly desire to live? Because we are not stuck with diseases, no matter how much the medical model wants us to believe that we are. We're not. We only believe that we are because they've told us that we are. It's a false belief. It's a thought V word that we cannot say without getting removed. A thought pattern that has been injected. And when we believe the false thought patterns, those false thought patterns show up as our reality. When I was facing cancer, it was a false belief. That's what I learned when I healed myself. Cancer itself is an illusion. It's not real. It's not what's actually happening to our bodies. But as long as we're looking at cancer, 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 it is a scary ass thought pattern. And that scary ass thought pattern then turns into a nightmare life. And it doesn't need to be that way. I am living proof. Cancer will never, ever rear its ugly head in my life ever again because I saw through the illusion. My body, I will never have to worry about some major disease in my body ever again. And neither do you. You don't have to either. No matter how much the medical model wants you to believe that you do have to worry about it. You really, truly don't. So if you are ready to take your health into your own hands, I have a 90-minute workshop coming up in a couple of weeks. It's called The Hidden Secrets of Self-Healing, Unveiling the Power That You Didn't Know You Have. $33 coming up on August 21st. This is going to be the best $33 you ever spent if you are looking to heal your body and change what's happening in your physical structure. Come and listen. Come participate in this 90-minute workshop. Sign up now. I will put hopefully I copied and pasted. Here we go. Here's the little, right in the chat. $33. You got it, Kinsey. best 33 bucks you'll ever spend. I put the little place where you can check out in Square. So, or on my little Square site there. So it's in the chat. So please come join me for this workshop so you can start to look at your body from a different perspective. I'm going to show you some secrets that the medical model doesn't tell us, but that once you know these secrets, you can start taking your health into your own hands. And it's simple. It is so much simpler than it's ever been made out to be. So this is why I called my book The Simplicity of Self-Healing, because it's actually simple. So I hope to see all of you there. Come join me on August 21st, 2021 for the Hidden Secrets of Self-Healing, Unveiling the Powers You Didn't Know You Have. So I hope this was helpful. If it was helpful, drop a comment in the chat. If you are watching on YouTube, drop a comment, subscribe to my channel, help me out, share this a little bit. Other people might want to know the same things. So thank you so much for joining me, everyone, today. And until next week, create for yourselves a great week. Bye for now.